All right, welcome back to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Renew. So, let's get down to business. Let's see what this energy is really talking about. Empress energy of the day. Let's see. Feel like I yapped in that other one a little bit more than what I actually wanted to, but that's all right. Because it's important for us to understand, the energy as I see it. It's important to understand how I see it. It's important for me to understand how you see it. And just like random points on a data plot, this scatter plot has things that will eventually show a trend or some kind of association. Even if it's a no association, that is a type of data point which a lot of people don't really consider. A lot of people don't consider if you have 3/4, you also have 1/4. We must dictate and determine what we have, because most of the time, the changes that you're seeking, the changes that you want out of life, the things that you're desiring, they come from the small parts of life, the small areas, the minorities. These things are what creates the most significant changes, because there's such a drastically different thing on a smaller scale. But that small scale has a large ripple effect. Again, for us, red is red, no matter if there's 57 different shades of red. You know, guess what? That's cool, because there are ranges now. We can call it light red versus dark red, and then you can get into your deepest, darkest reds versus your lighter dark reds. Like, we can start to create newness, and that is the idea of this Empress energy. We're having the ability now to create and take advantage of us being able to reconcile certain areas of our lives into new positions. So for me, I took exactly what I had and I've been doing for work, and I've copied and pasted it and made an example for that in my personal life. Took my professional world and all of our operations that I thought worked well, and then I just literally copied the exact same way. And instead of having work-related tasks, I now have personal-related tasks. Things that I need to do on a personal level. Things that I want to do on a personal level. So instead of just having things that I need to get done, just like at the job, we assign roles and time frames and spaces for certain tasks. So I just took the same format for what works for me at my job and did it in my, personal life. And now I feel so much more confident of me being able to birth anything and overcome any obstacle. These are the things that I'm learning because I've given myself time. And again, ranted on a little bit about this on the previous, but time is the only thing that exists. The only thing that exists outside of time is space. So really, it's first comes space. But in order for there to be anything, there has to be a time from whence it became. The initiation, the zero, the prequel, the idea, the thought. And then that shit gets birthed as a one. But the idea is what comes first. So there is two different areas of spaces that we need to account for before we even get to the time of talking about something. Again, the space of your mom is separate from the space of your dad. And when those spaces collide, you got two spaces, two zeros that could come together and make a one. That's it. That's all. That one is not it's not one out of one like most people think. It's a 1/4. It's parts coming together and we call it one whole thing. But it's not one whole thing. It's a collection of spaces from a time. So again, I'm talking like this because the Empress is what birthed things. Talking about, the gametes of the body. I'm talking about these cells that create replicas of oneself in different expressions. Again, your eyes express genetic code, right? But it does not mix with some other genetic code to express. It doesn't unlock and encrypt with one another in order to lock in the genetic expression. No, that's just one time frame from when these things interacted. But if you're not an only child, you can see your siblings, which come from the same two zero spaces, and they look different than you. But some of them got some of the same features, and some of them look more like your mom or more like your dad, or neither, and they look like your grandparent or something. The idea is none of the motherfuckers look like you, and you are the same genetic material. So when we're talking about the birthing aspect of the Empress, we're looking at how we were interacting at a point in time from which we were trying to manifest. In other words, were you in alignment? So we have to ask the question, what parts need to be aligned? And those are your four suits. These are your four types of cards, your four elements. And then you got the two other elements, which is, the time and space. But then you got the ethereals, what we call it. And that's the idea of a one, a child. You can be a child and you can be an adult. You can be a child and you can be a parent. That's a paradox. Because doesn't a parent birth children? But you had to be born. So you had to be a child. So this is the idea behind having this Empress energy. Again, it is a paradoxical aspect of a collection of space from a point in time. It's like I lettered a mail, or I mailed a letter to mail. I mailed a letter on Monday, and then another one on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then that's like expecting me to receive all the mail at the same time. No, I should expect there to be a difference in the time frame from which those spaces or that volume or that letter arrives. Time frames. So, again, this is just going back to understand that we've been balancing certain energies, just like a pregnant woman would be balancing the genetic creations of a child until it's ready to be born. And guess what? It's about that time. Time. It exists. Time exists. You must manipulate time. You must learn to manipulate time. If you don't, then you don't manipulate the time, then you can't change your space. You must manipulate the time. And that's not just talking in terms of our genetic measurement systems. You gotta think bigger. You gotta think more grander. You gotta be able to feel the differences between those eons. And if you can feel the difference, then you can project the difference right here, right now, in a shorter amount of time or a passing period of time. You have to be the controller of the time. You have to, because you only have time. And then how you use the time, but it's still just a factor of time. Alright. So overall energy is the Empress. And I'm yelling at you because it's time to birth something. It's the right time to be born. Seasonal births. Maybe it's birthing season, not mating season. What else do we have? Give me some more. Burdens, responsibilities, the things that you want to carry. I think you are birthing new responsibility. Yep. You're breaking down the things of old and you're putting more love into the things of new. And what that allows you to do is to shift and change the things that cause you to be burdened and bring towers to your life versus the things that bring you love. And this is coming through a physical opportunity to carry some shit, to put the team on your back, to be responsible for new areas, to take charge in a way which will allow you to change who you are from a day to day. To change who you are from the day to day is a good thing, because at the end of the day, you, as the King of Cups, like I always say, you have two cups, bro. This is the only cup card that has two cups in it. Out of all the courts, only one. This is the only one that has two things in their hand. Actually, I think there's one more. I think it was the Queen of Wands. Yeah, and that's why I always put those two together. The Queen of Wands go with the King of Cups to me. She has the rod and the sunflower. He has the cup and the little chalice. That to me says that the king always knows how to share his emotion, but he always got an emotional reserve from himself. And now, because he knows how to make himself feel good and the people feel good, he's not going to pick and choose anymore. He's going to decide which burdens he's going to carry. And you're deciding on more responsibilities to make you feel good and happy, which is bringing a tower moment to the other things that need to be carried by you. If you don't want to put in as much energy and effort into the job, you don't have to. If you don't have to put in that much energy into the job and you want to do it anyway, then you do it. The thing is, you're doing what makes you feel good. You've decided, instead of doing things just to be responsible for them so they can break down, you're going to decide, oh, I'm going to choose these responsibilities that make me feel good. And even if it starts off hard, I know I can show myself some more love and not create tower moments for myself, but to have methods, strategies and techniques to overcome any tower moment because I'm feeling good. This is what you're birthing. Exactly. You're birthing a new world. Oh, and I'm gonna leave this as is. Knight of Cups in reverse. It's But again, Ace of Pentacles at the bottom twice. This is just clearly showing that you're choosing to dump out the emotions that go with this tower. That's it. You're walking away from the things that you was walking towards emotionally. Again, it doesn't matter why. What matters is that it's the new time. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter if you want to go back and get the coins from the previous level on the board. The board is over. We're forcing you to move forward in life. Time is up over here. Beep, time begins over there. That's it. So you can either continue walking towards the paths, which is going to lead to towers, or you can say, all right, well, fuck that cup. It's over. I wish I would have got it. I'm going to try harder to get all the coins on the next one. That's it. That's all. You're now at a position to where you can birth a new life because you can accept all the things that happened from the past. It's a gift to you now. It's all the trials and error. Those are the things that which finally allows you to step into your power as any version of you. And if you need some extra help, if you need a reminder, check out our book, Soul Spark or Soul Inspiration. All of our books, they're made for kids, by kids, made for kids, for parents. It was made for everybody who wants to feel confident and powerful in themselves, knowing that they're trying. It's like learning how to build a diary of your own life through different time frames of life. It's like a temporal diary. You can listen to mine, you can go and read mine, but I recommend you creating your own. And if you need some help, I can help you out. But the idea is, what are you deciding to do when you're creating this brand new world? Why did you dump these emotions? Why did you understand that this was a time for new? Again, I'm telling you it's a time for new. You know it's a time for new. You're rebirthing it. The baby is coming. Your water haven't broken yet, but that motherfucker is about to any fucking day. You need to know which ways to choose, where to choose, how to choose, so you can move forward with your choice. And every choice that you make is an excellent decision, and you are an excellent decision. So you've been doing it already. Have faith that you can keep on going. And remember, no matter what path you take, there's no leaving your path, bro. It's just a detour on your path to you in the mind that wants to get there now. But for the audience watching, that's just a part of the fucking movie. Look at this confused ass nigga. Confused as hell, not knowing what to do. Look at him just watching you be stagnant, repeating the same patterns every day. Is this Groundhog's Day? What movie am I watching? Oh, and then all of a sudden, something else happens? What is this, the Lego movie? Everything is awesome? The same old until it's not? Yes, that's exactly what is going on. Something has created a new kink in your routine, which has allowed you to say, hey, I can choose which responsibilities I want to take on. I can choose to be responsible for these things that make me happy. And then with that happiness, I can birth a whole new world because I understand that not going to the things that make me happy will bring me a tower moment, and I can't birth the things that I want. So even if things are hard, you got to understand things could always be passed through. Doesn't matter if they're hard or not, though. And that's the cool thing about all the experiences from carrying burdens that gave you tower moments before. You now know how they are born. So you don't even get triggered or bothered by it any longer because you can see how it manifests. Because you felt it and experienced and went through your own manifestation of the same energy. So now you can actually say, I choose this. And if this is a relationship, you can say, I choose this person for A, B, C, and D. These are the things I'm bringing to the table as a human. You got it. You can't be useless. Period. And you're not as an individual. So because you already know you're not going to be useless, you should try to be useful and birth the things that you know might work for you. And if it doesn't work for everybody, it helped somebody because they heard you speak up. They heard you try. They watched you put in effort time and time again. It's allowing you to take a step. As you're stepping forward and you're living this life, you are understanding that you're creating a brand new world, and the things that you're fixated on are the areas that will be rotating inside of the world. So you must fixate yourself on the changes that the things you're locked in on are rotating through. The patterns of the ups and downs. It's very easy. We got areas of industry like in the retail. It's about to turn the fuck up. It's getting closer to Halloween and Christmas and holiday season is what they call it. Fuck it. And we're not even going to say Halloween and November and Christmas. It's holidays. Starts in September now. Like, we are changing the time. We are manipulating all the efforts and energy. So for retail stores, energy is about to increase. So the responsibilities that they're choosing are changing, and it's making a whole new world for them. And if they keep focusing on back to school shit, then that's going to cause them a tower moment. It's going to lose out on so much money. If you don't understand, let's give you another example. The medical field is about to see an increase of people being inpatient because of the simple fact that people are going to be going through the holiday season. The holiday season, for some areas, provides natural disaster and danger. It emotionally and psychologically inhibits people. And then at the end of the day, you have winter time in the northern hemisphere, or the wet season. It's gloominess all around. So we have to know that this is a time frame for reflection. In the medical industry, you have to understand this is a time for expansion. Just like the retail industry has a time of understanding that it needs to be energetic increases. More decorations, more end caps, more inventory. Sooner. Get it out there sooner. Let's go. Get these sales going. This is the difference from what we're looking at right now that's being born versus what will be birthed. This is the difference. The difference here is you're birthing a time. And you're going to step into this space, but because your manipulation of time has created a brand new world by you choosing things and being confident that anything that you choose will be a good choice eventually, then you can understand, you can know, you can walk into this space confidently as you, with your emotions intact. What's the final message? Say no more. You're the star, man. You're the star of this show. You're the star of this show. You're the star of this show. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You're birthing in and you're bearing these emotions. You're bearing all of these emotions. And the reason why you're bearing these emotions is because you're choosing which emotions that you want to bear. And now you can present these passions. You can present these variations. You can present all 12 of your kids now, and they can all look similar because they're all coming from a similar place of passion and love. So guess what? Appreciation is shown through. And those little time frames called children will grow into their own tunes, but they'll still have that same baseline. And so, no matter how different they become, they still have a place to return home to. That is you right now being able to birth anything in your life. You got a newfound baseline. Your base form has increased. You got Kaba level base form now, if you know what I'm talking about. But knowing that you have an increased base, a higher minimum, oh, I can do 12 push-ups at any point in time. No, that's my minimum. I'm doing 12 like I'm doing 2. I always going to have at least $500 coming in because of passive income. Like you should know, oh, I'm always going to be saving this amount of money because I've already calculated my expenses for the whole next year. You've done the extra work or changed the responsibilities. And now you've done that and you're seeing yourself be able to pour out yourself in more areas of where yourself wants to be poured out into. You have full control of who you are. And it's because you have control of which part of you birth into the world. You don't have to always react. And when you do react, you don't always have to be obligating yourself to the reactions of another. But you don't also have to obligate yourself to the reactions of some other version of yourself. So be the star of who you are today. And know that that person was created by a star of yesterday. So let's look at where both of them can go tomorrow. So, all right, I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Be great. See you next time. Peace.